Hey guys, Miles here. It is Thursday, so that means it's a live fire Thursday. We're going to be continuing where we left off from Monday during our dry fire session, where we focus now on what your support hand should be doing, what kind of grip pressure, how hard, the actual direction of that pressure. Previous week we focused on your firing hand. Now we're going to be combining those two, doing live fire exercises to see if you have a true understanding and also to ensure that you're properly dry firing, because if you do good dry fire, then your live fire session should go much more smoothly. All right, so you can use any target for this. There's something that you know you can hit and a distance that you're not struggling. I'm going to talk about what we're going to be doing. I'm going to load and make ready first. Pretty much if you dry fired exactly the way I showed you on Monday, we're going to do the same thing, but we're now shooting. And we are going to reinforce what I covered on Monday, but then also now you're going to see what I was talking about, where we need to look at your grip after each repetition, because now your grip might break, because now we have that little explosion going off. But what we did in dry fire was we just took shots, okay, we squeezed the trigger multiple times as we presented. If you have a device like the dry fire mag, then you could have actuated the trigger, squeezed it, reset and prep, which is more realistic. That's exactly what we're going to be doing now. Or you may have just slapped the trigger as I showed you as an alternative if you don't have a dry fire mag. We're going to do the same exact thing here. You're going to have a good grip here. Remember, you want to grip as hard as possible, as firmly as possible, without disturbing the sights, and your firing hand should grip as hard as possible without affecting your trigger squeeze, okay? If you squeezing too hard, you're not going to be able to move this really quickly, and you might have something that people refer to as trigger freeze, okay? Your support hand is going to be crushing down as hard as possible without disturbing the sights as well. Primarily, your grip pressure should be left and right, but of course you're going to be squeezing all across the grip, just like your C-clamp on your firing hand is squeezing forward and back, but there's going to be pressure everywhere, okay? And if you are to have differences in pressure, most likely, and most instructors are going to say this, you want to have more pressure with your support hand and less pressure with your firing hand so you don't affect your trigger finger. So now what we're going to do is, once we have that grip pressure, we're solid and we have no gaps. We don't want a gap in our grip here, okay? We don't want to see lots of holes in the actual black of this Glock grip, for example. So I'm going to start off with 2 shots. Very simple. I'm going to grip here. As I push out, I'm going to take 2 shots, but I do not want to take multiple single shots. I'm going to do this at a pace where it's actual multiple shot engagement. I'll do 2 shots here. And from here, I should have my trigger prepped again, ready for the next shot, okay? My sight should be exactly where I want, and this good follow through so I can take another shot. But now, before the rep is done, I want you to pay attention to your grip pressure. Do you have good grip pressure with your firing hand as well as your support hand? Then, finger off the trigger and look to see, I'm going to point this at you, look to see if your grip came apart. That's what we're trying to avoid, because a lot of people will do something like this. Take a look what I'm going to do with my hand. I'm going to take 2 shots here, okay, 2 shots, and then people re-grip. That means the pressure is not where you want it to be. It's not consistent. It changes all the time, and it's not really a good human vice yet. You will improve over time. Okay, but what we're going to do now is take 3 shots and you're going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to do this a little bit slower, okay? So you're going to put your finger on the trigger so I can talk this through. Finger on the trigger, prepping. Your sights are on target. You're going to take 3 shots, 4 shots, multiple shot engagements, whatever you want. Here I'm going to take 3 shots. At this point, I've reset and prepped. I'm still following through, ready to take another shot if I need to. I ask myself questions. Is my support hand grip pressure, is it good? Is it actually squeezing down nice and hard? How is my pressure with my firing hand? Everything's good. Now, finger off the trigger, take a look to see if your grip broke. Now, as you can see here, my grip did not break. It's consistent. I do not have to re-grip. From here, I can come back down. Notice I'm not re-gripping. I'm not re-gripping. Then now maybe I do 4 shots, okay? Everything's the same. Is my pressure good? Pressure good on my support hand, firing hand? Yep. Good direction, good amount of pressure. Finger off the trigger. Did my grip break? No, it did not. Awesome. Then I come back. If you find yourself having to re-grip, that's usually a sign that things you still got to work on your grip. And remember what I said, that if you're dry firing incorrectly, it will also translate here. So if you're pulling that trigger dry and you didn't really have consistent grip pressure, that can show itself manifest when you're doing live fire. So you want to ensure that you dry fire properly, so this is going to be better. And it happens not by what's going on with the target, okay? It is all about your focus on your grip pressure. Remember, all of these steps, these skill sets are part of the process. And when you master the process, the result will just manifest itself. It's actually going to work out because you're doing everything correctly to lead up to the proper result. So now, after you do this a couple reps, okay, number of rounds, you feel comfortable, and there's no designated number of rounds, okay, but you do enough where you know what right feels like, know what right looks like, okay, then you can start to break out the timer. Why am I bringing out the timer? Similar to the previous video, we want to see if you're improving your split times, as well as you want the timer to ensure you're honest. Meaning, if you have split times of, let's say, you're taking a shot every half a second, you know, some people might argue that's actually taking single shots. So I want you to begin to push yourself to shoot faster, have shorter split times, but you don't have to go crazy. You're just going to gradually improve. The idea here is that you want to start to build up to taking faster multiple shots. So I have my timer here, and I'm actually going to do a tack reload right now. And what you're going to do is you're going to time yourself and look at the split times, okay? Here we go. Starting here. I just started with 2 shots. You would ask yourself all the same questions. Is my grip pressure good with my support hand and firing hand? Finger off the trigger. Did my grip break? No, it did not. I come back, okay? Now I look at my split times. For that one, it was a 0.26, okay? So 0.26 is the barometer, or kind of the baseline I want to stay at or get faster than, okay? You don't have to go crazy yet, all right? So if your split time might be faster or slower, whatever it is, but the thing is that that's the baseline. So again, I now might do 3 shots here under the buzzer. So from here, finger off the trigger, ask yourselves all the questions. If everything is good, bring it in. Now I'm looking at my split times here with my timer. I have a 0.23, 0.20, so I'm going faster now, all right? But that's the idea. You don't want to get slower, you want to stay the same or faster. Now, if you are going too fast and the shots are not accurate, then maybe right now for your skill set you are going too fast, then you can't slow down for now. When you're learning something, it's okay to go slow, okay, when you're learning something new. Later on, when you already master the mechanics, you are going to try to keep the same speed and then make tweaks at that speed rather than going slow, okay? But that's really all you guys need to do for the live fire session. You can change up the number of reps. You can use the timer if you want to. You don't necessarily need to, but the more advanced you get, you do want to track your split times because it's going to keep you honest. And remember, the learning here is everyone, you know, it's fun to shoot targets. It's fun. Everyone wants to see they're getting accurate shots. But the learning is happening here. After I take shots, okay, I ask myself the questions, and all of it is here. I need to pay attention to this. Remember, if you do everything right here, the results are going to speak for themselves, okay? But if I start to mess up here, then shots are going to be thrown off, okay? So the learning happens right in front of you. I hope you guys liked today's live fire video. It's really simple, but it's not easy, especially if you're just beginning. Remember, a telltale sign is if you have to continue to re-grip after every shot, something needs to be tweaked. But the more you practice this well, dry fire, it's going to translate well in live fire. So give this exercise a go, and the more you do it, the better you're going to get. As always, if you have questions, let us know in the comments. And as always, please like, subscribe. See you guys next week.